Crossbows. You may have seen them, maybe even shot one once or twice. But if it's been more than a couple years, you might want to give them another look. You see, crossbow technology has come a long way. Today's models are lighter, faster, easier to handle, and when topped with the right sight, they're deadly accurate. This week, on the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries, we've got 10-point crossbows Brian Flaherty in camp. Brian and his crew have brought several of the all-new models for 2025, and we'll be putting them to the test. So, without further ado, let's get out in the field with Brian and the all-new, redesigned for 2025 10-point Turbo X.
All right, so we're down in South Texas hunting whitetails, and it is a scorcher. It's 85 degrees when we pulled in this afternoon to get ready for camp, got the bows sighted in. We're out here in a nice elevated blind, so we're not seeing much activity until about the last 30 minutes of daylight, so we're going to sit this one here. We've been seeing a nice 10-point come in to this spot quite a few days out of the week, so we're hoping to catch them here, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so we are down here in early November, and this is a week that 10-point always looks forward to get out here with you guys and Wade and the crew, and the opportunity to test out our new product for 2025. So I've been coming down here about 5 years. I think it's been 5 years since we've done this week, and it's been great. Typically, you guys are one of our best partners, and typically before that it's been, hey, here's all the bows, you guys go out and do it, and eventually got to the point where we said, hey, let's just make it a 10-point week, and let's just come down here, test out the new bows, create a lot of content, put some meat in the freezer. And so over the past 5 years, I've shot a number of doe, 3 or 4 mature bucks, a number of pigs, and it's just been it's a great week of not only putting the bows to the test, but just building relationships, catching up with old friends, and it's become a really, really special week for 10-point.
Now, if you've caught our last few shows, you know that we're all in on crossbow hunting. We've had several successful hunts using a variety of 10-point models, along with their arrows, lighted nocks, and other accessories. If you missed those hunts, you can always catch them on the Outdoor Action app. It streams 24/7 on your favorite device. Getting back to the hunt, we'll rejoin Brian in the field on his first sit of the season.
Yeah, so it was our first sit of the hunt. We got in probably about 3 or 4 hours ago. Got time to sight the bows in, get comfortable, then had a decent little sit this afternoon. Had about 3 or 4 doe come through, and actually the shooter buck that we were after, we did see him, so we got eyes on him. He came in really over our left shoulder and never gave us any opportunity to really pass through in a matter of minutes. Wasn't interested in stopping by at some corn that we had put down. So he kept on moving through. There's a couple smaller bucks behind him, but really nothing, nothing came to fruition. But it was a good sit, good time getting into camp, and we'll look forward to a game plan for tomorrow morning.
Back at camp, Middleton has steaks on the grill, and the crew settles in. After dinner, they go over the week's agenda and make plans for tomorrow's hunt. Early the next morning, Brian's back in the blind, hoping to get a better look at one of the shooter bucks that Wade has seen on his Stealth Cam trail camera. The forecast calls for milder temps today, which in South Texas really means just not as hot, with maybe a little less wind.
So the following morning, we were in an elevated pop-up, and we saw 2 bucks came over our right shoulder, coming down the trail, and stopped immediately when they got to us. So I don't know if they smelled us or we spooked them or whatever. They didn't run off. They just kind of made their way around. About 20 minutes later, they show back up, kind of coming right at us.
The 2 are less than 40 yards and approaching. Maybe it's the lack of wind, but they're wary.
They saw something, heard something, or smelled something, because they took off, and really that was the only action that we saw. That was about 7:30 or so, I think. And since then, there's no wind. It's super calm this morning, and we haven't seen any action or any movement since then. So we're going to head back to camp, have a good breakfast, and try to map out the game plan for this afternoon. But we're close. So last night and this morning we've seen the shooter bucks that we're after, and it just hasn't happened yet. But that's how it goes, and we'll regroup and get a good plan together.
Coming up, we're back in the field and on the hunt. In the meantime, head on over to 10pointcrossbows.com and check out the all-new 2025 models and accessories. You're watching Yamaha's Whitetail Diaries. Stay with us.